Every town has one urban legend that just won't go away. But can the truth really be more interesting than the actual mystery? In the small, quiet town of Mineral Point, one local legend is about to have its time in the sun.
What if I were to tell you that there is a real vampire in the town of Mineral Point, Wisconsin, and he's been hiding in plain sight ever since 1981.
In 1981, reports would come of a strange humanoid-looking creature lurking behind trees, bushes, and even gravestones. To this day, there are still reports of a creepy vampire-looking person in Mineral Point.
People want to deny it, but I was one of the first to see him up there at the cemetery.
Somebody supposedly sighted it up here, and they just saw something they couldn't explain. Somebody happened to look off back in through here and saw something walking. It walked like a human, but it wasn't human.
Listen, I don't want to say too much more. The vampire could be listening in on this conversation as we speak. But if you ask around town about the vampire, they'll tell you. And if they can't prove to you that he's real, well, I guarantee you they'll at least give you some intriguing answers.
People around town claim they've seen a vampire, but I don't believe it. It's all a bunch of crap.
I think it's some prank that people are doing, and I don't think it's real.
I really do believe there's a vampire. I've heard that they're about 8 to 9 feet tall. It kind of has, like, from my view, like a leather jacket with, like, a cape of leather. But I know it's probably, like, denim.
I think there'd be a lot more evidence if there were actually vampires.
It could just be a person on stilts.
No.
Dressed up.
No.
It could just be a person.
No.
We have no evidence.
It could not run that fast if it was a person. No.
A vampire.
No. You're wrong. Reason number 1, a human could not run that fast on stilts. Reason number 2, it would be hard to stand on stilts and run that fast. Reason number 3, it's real.
Doesn't make sense. It's all a bunch of crap.
Do you believe in the possibility that there is a vampire out there?
Possibility exists. Did you hear something? That really freaked me out. Really freaked me out. Mike Mitchell's not up here waiting around some tree to scare the hell out of me, is he?
I'm the vampire. Well, you don't really get it. I'm not pranking anybody. I am a vampire. You don't believe me? Take a look at this. See? I'll explain the teeth thing. Years ago, I just wanted to fit in with everybody, so I filed down my fangs. You can see what's left over there. Doesn't look like you believe me. Still don't believe me. Well, take a look at all the shades. Any idea why they're all pulled down? Of course you do. Vampires can't be exposed to the sun. If I was exposed to the sun, I could burn. I could die. I'll show you. Oh my God! Pull it down! Get on fire! I could have died.
There is no vampires. It's just pranksters going around trying to scare people. Those little twerps should be ashamed of themselves. And what really burns my bacon is not these little twerps, it's the people that believe that there is a vampire roaming around. For God's sakes, whatever happened to common sense?
I woke up a couple nights ago and I had these bite marks on my neck. I mean, it could be the Mineral Point vampire. Good thing you're 6 feet away. I don't know if it works like the Rona, but I wouldn't want you to get vampirism. Honestly, if he was real and that's what these are, how cool would that be to be an actual vampire? I mean, eternal life, I'm totally game for all of this.
Oh, honey, I want you to make sure, get me in soft light. This side is better, right? I'm sure you've seen me in The Last Scream of Atlanta as the leading actress. Now, I've seen the Mineral Point vampire and it was very scary. Well, he was thin, tall, pale. What is this? This is not at all what I ordered. Take it back, take it back. It's supposed to be lime, not lemon. Go, go, just go. Well, I was working on this part. That's why I'm in Wisconsin, you see. I'm working on this part where I play this rural pottery expert, and I was walking through a cemetery so I could pull in all the atmosphere. It was very late at night. And I saw this figure. He was thin, tall, pale. He had on a cape. He came closer, he had these piercing, I tell you, green eyes. And he comes closer to me and I scream, oh! I know it was that vampire that everybody's talking about. Whew. Quite scary. Ah, that's exactly what I wanted. You got that right. The service in these little towns, just so lovely.
This is not what I need right now. Yeah, we were out cleaning up after the bar one night, and I was on my way home, and I saw a figure, off my headlights caught something, I don't know what it was, and of course you turn, you look, and it was just like they described. Tall, thin, I think it was even wearing a cape. There are people scared. This is a tourist town. People aren't gonna come here. We pride ourselves, we accept all types, all kinds. We don't discriminate, but I draw the line. I draw the line at the undead. Vampires are not welcome here.
Oh, we just have so many interesting people here. You know, Mineral Point's a very, very accepting town. I think that a vampire would fit right in. I believe the vampire has come to enlighten us and show us how to be better people. We must not be afraid. This is the fulfillment of the Book of Gildilberdor. The prophecy says that a being of pure love will descend upon us in a blaze of glorious light. And I believe that will happen very soon.
What a great time to live in Mineral Point.
Every year they do this. They have a county fair on my birthday. And I get to put up with all this noise. Oh yeah, vampires. Yeah, they kind of freak me out, to be honest. I'm kind of scared. You know, especially with the fair right here, probably attracts them with all the noise, you know. But you know, now that I think about it, maybe the vampires could come and bring a whole group or a whole herd of vampires, and they could feast on these guys. Then we wouldn't have a fair anymore, would we? And I could finally have a nice peaceful birthday like I deserve. Come and get it, vampires. Welcome, vampires. Welcome, vampires. Ha ha.
Pasties are a Cornish dish. When I make pasties, I usually make a large batch of pasties, individual pasties, that I freeze so I can have them through all the different months. I can just pull one out when we're ready to have a pasty, a nice warm, good meal. Holidays, Christmas. I even pull out pasties for birthdays. In fact, instead of baking a cake, I just pull out a pasty and put a candle in it. To say that a pasty is special, a friend of mine, her fiance, instead of giving her an engagement ring, gave her a pasty. Now, how romantic is that? But you know, lately I've been going down in the freezer and I keep an inventory of how many pasties I've made. But for some reason, I don't know if I didn't count right or what, but I go down into the freezer and every so often there's 1 or 2 missing, and I don't know, it just seems really weird to me, but I have a sneaky suspicion it has something to do with this vampire. I mean, that's just a guess, but I don't know what else it could be. If it is the vampire stealing my pasties.
I really want to see a vampire. I bet a vampire is like really strong. I bet he could pick up a truck with just one hand. I bet he could explode things just with his mind. I bet he probably evolved to the point he can breathe underwater. Oh, he definitely has the ability to turn invisible. I bet he travels at the speed of light. No, the speed of dark, because he's a vampire, and vampires love the dark. I bet he has like laser eyes or something. Bzzz. I want to be a vampire.
Oh, my name's Chad, and I'm a vampire hunter. I know you're out there somewhere. I can feel it in my vampire hunter bones. Good God, there's a lot of farms around here. And I won't stop until I've searched every last one. The job of vampire hunters has been passed down from generation to generation since my grandfather, who tragically died while searching for the vampire in the late 80s.
Was he killed by a vampire?
No, he was killed by a bee. He had an allergy and wasn't carrying an EpiPen. I don't know if EpiPens existed back then, but yeah, it was tragic. I feel like it's my duty to protect the people of Mineral Point and surrounding areas all around the Driftless area from any vampire activity that could cause us harm, panic, trouble, chaos, destruction, the inevitable end.
Open the door!
Is it gone? There absolutely, without a doubt, is a vampire in Mineral Point. And we're gonna find him today in his nesting area during the day when he's sleeping. I brought these nunchucks because they are a multi-purpose vampire hunting weapon. But also, you can hold them in the way of a cross to scare away any vampire threat. This is a special kind of steak. What kind of steak is it? Filet mignon. Gotta keep it light, let's go find a vampire.
Good news, chariots coming, good news, chariots coming, good news, chariots coming, and I don't want it to leave me behind.
Vampire's definitely been through here. As you can see, his massive bulbous body has snapped this small twig.
And I don't want it to leave me behind. Good news, chariots coming, good news, chariots coming, good news, chariots coming, and I don't want it to leave me behind.
I saw that brush move. Be very quiet.
Chariots coming, good news, chariots coming, and I don't want it to leave me behind.
Oh yeah, get some! What the f*** is that? Run!
Long white robes in the heaven I know. Long white robes in the heaven I know.
It turns out what I thought was the vampire was in fact a squirrel. However, to justify myself, vampires are shapeshifters. If they can turn into bats, why not a squirrel? As squirrels are basically bats that can't fly.
So if you're a real vampire, can you turn into a bat?
That's, yeah, that's kind of a personal thing. I don't really like to do it. I feel kind of self-conscious. I don't like the way I look as a bat. So I haven't done it in quite a while. I don't even know if I could remember how to do it. So I'm probably not gonna do it.
I mean, really the biggest question perhaps is what would even motivate a vampire to live in Mineral Point, of all places?
What motivates all vampires? Blood. The purest blood in all the nation, Midwestern blood. It's that beer and milk. It sweetens that blood. That's what they want. Nobody's gonna get me, no one's gonna bite my neck, no one's gonna get my sweet Midwestern blood.
Oh, look who it is. Is that Uncle Brett? Oh, yes, it is. Hi, Brett.
Who is it? You ain't gonna get me, you blood suckers!
Brett's been acting a little strange lately. A lot of people have. It's like people are seeing things that aren't really there. Even Kevin, my dog, thought he saw something.
Was it a vampire? Was it a vampire?
But there's no such thing as vampires. Hi, Brett. Maybe he has a case of the sieves. Ugh, poor guy.
Chemically induced vampire sightings, or sieves as they want to call it. They say the repeated exposure to chemicals from aerosol can hairsprays is seeping into our brains and overstimulating the visual cortex, causing us to see vampires that aren't there. They even say if you use too much of it, people will start to think that they themselves are the vampire, not to mention making them highly flammable. I believe sieves is just some made-up diagnosis to cover up the truth. I'm telling you, they know. It's a conspiracy to silence us all.
Mr. Talbot, it's time to get ready for dinner. We got some Salisbury steak and tater tots. A couple of your favorites.
You don't happen to have any hairspray, do you?
In the end, perhaps some mysteries are more interesting left unsolved, consistently teasing us in the shadows of our own imagination.
You see, I told you I was a vampire. I'm on fire!
People, don't use hairspray. It's really bad. Someone you may know could be suffering from sieves.
Take that, vampire! Ugh! And that! Take that, vampire! Ugh! 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 Take that! Ugh! That!
Unlike the vampire, sieves is very real. Call today and help us put an end to sieves.
Boo.